Hello, it's that time again when we get to tell you all about the wonderful and inspirational events and people from Lincolnshire in episode 11 of the Links Lives Natters podcast. Today's guest is a busy mum who works in the NHS. She also volunteers her time as a director, and I gather she's got a new job as well as an event manager for the brilliant charity that is Adie's Legacy. Welcome, Elaine. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, and thank you for giving us the time.
So tell me about Adie's legacy. How did this all start? Because there is a very special reason why this all happened, isn't there?
There is. So Adi Green sadly lost his life to a brain tumour 10 years ago. Paula, she founded the charity or the non-profit CIC, and I sort of joined a little while later just to help initially. Initially, Paula raised an awful lot of money for a brain tumour research in Adi's name. And then she had the idea that she wanted him to be remembered for something more than the guy that died of a brain tumour. So he was the sort of chap that would have given his last pound away to anybody that needed it. Hence, Paula starting to help people that were down on their luck in life. So initially it started with her and her mum doing some garden sales on the front lawn, just, making a little bit of money here and there. And it's grown over the last 2 years. It's just spiraled and spiraled to somewhere that we never dreamt we could have got to.
How do you help the people in the community? And also, how can people access the support? Can anybody approach you, or do you have to be referred?
So we do numerous things. So we do home starter packs for people that are being rehomed, mostly through either homelessness or fleeing domestic violence. So we supply bedding, kitchenware, something to cook with, something to eat with, something to drink from, that sort of thing, towels, basic, what we would all consider to be basic household items. We provide tents and sleeping bags to those sleeping rough. We do take individual referrals from support workers and do what we can individually where possible. We run a food bank. We have a pre-loved shop which has been open since Good Friday. We did pre-loved prom outfits last year and this year. We do Halloween and bonfire packs so that families can sort of celebrate as they should be able to. We do Christmas food hampers for those that can't afford Christmas dinner. We seek out families that can sponsor a family for Christmas, where the expectation would be that the sponsor supplies Christmas dinner and then gifts for any children within that family. We run a Christmas party. Last year we had an amazing Christmas party at the showroom down on Fritton Road for 80 guests. This year we're upping our game a little bit and hoping to have 100 guests. And that's going to be up on the Ermine in one of the council run properties. We run everything by donation wherever possible. We try to be accessible and approachable to everybody. We have a Facebook page where people can seek us out to ask for help. We do have direct referrals, and people can pop into the shop and ask for help at any time.
Yeah, I was going to ask because you've mentioned quite a few sort of like support things that you help people with. Do you think there is what's the main thing do you think that people are asking for help for support with? Is it food? Is it the home packs? Do you see trends at certain times of the year?
So we do quite a lot of home packs, but I think the food bank is probably the most sought after, and we definitely see trends in that it increases hugely during school holidays, when obviously people are responsible for feeding their own children and school dinners and that aren't available. I think we helped 87 families with food during August. So
Wow.
as you can see, that's a huge, financially that's a huge thing for us. But any profit we make within the shop goes to running the food bank. we're also extremely fortunate that Morrison's donate food to us on a weekly basis, and Sainsbury's donate bread and bread rolls to us on a weekly basis.
What does a typical food parcel consist of? What do the, can I say, families, individuals, what's actually in a food pack?
So obviously we're quite limited in that we can't really give fresh vegetables and stuff because we can't store them. So most of our packs would be pasta sauces, rice, tins of beans, spaghetti, that sort of thing. Um, we we give the tinned meals like spaghetti bolognese or meatballs or whatever in a tin. We provide milk, tea bags, coffee, sugar, soup, breakfast cereal, all loads of things, but nearly all sort of long life stuff because, like I say, we can't really store anything
Yeah,
fresh.
yeah. And how long would that parcel be expected to, the people be expected sort of to live on that parcel? Is there enough for sort of 4 or 5 days or?
Yeah, we do try to give them enough for 4 or 5 days. So we sort of try to do meals in that we would give pasta and sauce and rice and curry or something so that they could provide a meal um, for however many are in the family. So in order, for our food bank, we are accessible out of hours, which is, I think, something that makes it so much in demand. People can access us at weekends and even in the evenings. If we get a desperate plea, then we would do what we can to get food to somebody. We only ask the sort of questions like the brief circumstances, why they can't access the routine food banks, without any judgment on that though at all. And then things like where they are and whether they're going to be able to collect it or whether we need to arrange delivery, likes and dislikes, allergies, and then how many people it's for and what age the children are in the family, so we could try and give some age appropriate snacks and treats as well within the food pack.
That's absolutely fantastic. And you say sort of no discrimination. Can anybody access? Do they have to be on benefits or low incomes or just struggling?
Just struggling, absolutely anybody.
So no
We will take
judgment at all.
absolutely no judgment whatsoever. You don't have to be on benefits. There are plenty of people working on the minimum wage that are struggling at the moment, especially when the schools are off. But anytime, we do have people that are working and doing what they can, but just some months are tougher than others, aren't they? So yeah, absolutely no judgment from us at all.
How can we donate to the food bank? Can we bring you tins of food, or do you have people pick them up, or can we actually donate sort of tins of food and tea bags to you?
Yeah, absolutely. We are more than happy to receive any in-date food. So we have drop-off points up Top Hill of town at Ruskin Avenue. We have a drop-off point on Brant Road. The shop, people can take things to the shop, which is on Hemswell Avenue off Skellingthorpe Road. We can, if people contact us, we can try to arrange collection of food items. We're always more than happy to receive stuff because obviously, we are. It's hard to keep up with it, and the demand is so massive at the moment.
Yeah, one of the things you mentioned in the terms of things you do is the pop-up events. And I know you've recently done your prom and you also do one for Christmas. Can you explain a little bit more about those events? Because I know with the prom, you were looking for people to donate shoes and jewelry and dresses and suits.
Yeah, so last year we decided that we would try and get sort of 20 prom dresses and help a few kids that couldn't afford to go to prom. It was my daughter's prom year, and I knew how expensive it was and thought Paula and I put our heads together and thought we would try and help. So we put appeals out and whatever. Anyway, as everything seems to within Ages Legacy, it spiraled, and I think we ended up with 300 prom dresses donated, multiple suits, shoes, jewelry, bags, everything. So we sought help from the showroom on Tritton Road, the YMCA showroom, who were amazing and helped us with space in order to run drop-in centres so that we had, I think we did 3 days where we filled the room with prom outfits, and people came and tried dresses on and whatever, went away with whatever they felt comfortable in, and just gave a donation. So there was no price tag on anything. If if you could afford 20p, we took 20p. If you could afford more, they gave more. So, and there were a couple of lads especially that came in with their heads moped, both suffering from quite bad mental health, and both went out skipping out of the door looking amazing. So
Oh,
it was
absolutely
absolutely
fantastic.
fantastic. And then this year, prom, we filled the shop with prom outfits instead, and invited people to come to the shop, because now we've got our own property. Obviously, we've got a little bit more control over when, where, and how. So we did the same this
Yeah.
year, and again, we had lots of people go out with affordable prom outfits that meant people could go and enjoy prom without the stress of the cost of it.
The cost of dresses and things, and then when you've got your dress, and I'm talking about females, males just as well, when you've got your dress, your shoes, your jewelry, your makeup, your hair, it all mounts up, and we're talking three figures sometimes for some of these proms, aren't we, for some of these dresses and hair and makeup and stuff. It does get quite expensive, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And it's out of the gift of an awful lot of families, and again, not just people on benefits. Lots of people just can't afford that. And I think, for the boys, they get a suit and they can wear that again in the future for interviews, etc., or going on to sixth form or whatever they're doing. But with girls, they end up with a beautiful dress that potentially they're never going to wear again. So then, is the cost of it worth it? And you have to weigh up, don't you?
It's the gift that keeps giving, really, isn't it? Because,
Yeah,
like, when
absolutely.
someone gives you something that beautiful, and you see somebody you've just mentioned, they come in, especially the lads, heads down, or the young lasses with the heads down, but they go out with such smiles on their faces, like you're saying, to think, wow, I've got this really nice dress, and I'm going to be the belle of the ball. So for you guys to do that, it must be so heartwarming.
Oh, it was amazing. Last year we did run a prom as well. We haven't been able to do that this year, but we did run a prom for people that weren't able to access their own prom, either um, because they were socially awkward, didn't fit in at school, or for whatever reason. And that was amazing too. Smiles on faces. There was some, they were very candid and very shy at the beginning, and by the end of the night they were up singing karaoke to the DJ. So that was amazing too.
J&S Plumbing. J&S Plumbing is your local, friendly, reliable plumbing and heating engineer covering Lincoln and surrounding areas. Our experienced and fully qualified heating engineers are on hand to carry out boiler installation, repairs and servicing. Just call 01522 708 208. That's 01522 708 208, or email sales@jasplumbingandheating.co.uk. I can hear the passion in your voice, that you have for Adie's legacy. It comes over in bounds, what you do and stuff for the community. Because some of this stuff has never been done before, has it? It's thanks to you, to Paula, to all the volunteers and Adie's legacy that these things are happening out there for people.
Yeah, we tried to be a little bit different. I think we can probably put most of the crazy ideas down to Paula, although the prom was my fault. But we come up with ideas, and we do what we can to bring them to fruition, because the need is out there, and if people are needing support in some way, then we try to address that. I mean, recently we had an individual referral for a young girl that was going to PGL, as all year, I don't know, 9, 10-year-olds do. And the school had been able to fund her ticket, but then they were presented with a list of everything she was going to need to go, and they weren't able to afford it. And a support worker approached us and asked if there was anything we could do. And me and my daughter went shopping for her and bought her everything off the list, so that she went away to PGL with all brand new clothes.
PGL being the
PGL it's the activity thing that they go to for, I think, 2 nights towards the end of junior school. So she was able to go, and when the support worker delivered them, she did sort of a 2 hour fashion show for the support worker. And and I mean, again, how heartwarming is that? A little girl got to go and be a little girl and just have fun and not be judged by anybody else for a day or for a weekend.
What an absolutely fantastic gift to give somebody. I've nearly got tears in my eyes listening to you at all the good things that are being done. But something like that, absolutely, you know, fantastic. One of the things I was going to say, you have a lot of volunteers that work with you guys. Can people volunteer and what roles are available? Because you mentioned, and I know it was a real highlight for you guys, because obviously I've had conversations with Paula about you getting your property, your shop, because it was talked about for so long. And it happened, didn't it? You got the shop and people can come and volunteer their time, can't they?
Yeah, they can. So we have a pre-loved shop, like I said before, is on Hemswell Avenue, and we have multiple volunteers that help us in there, either by sort of doing a morning or an afternoon, just helping sort donations, looking after customers, providing a safe place for sometimes people just come for a browse because they feel part of the community and they want to just come in. We offer people teas and coffees in the shop, again free, but just to give people somewhere to go. We do all sorts of things within the shop as well. So we've got volunteers there, and then we also have volunteers that help us deliver food parcels. So we have a key volunteer called Jess who arranges most of the food parcels, and then she asks for assistance with delivery and whatever. And we have lots of people that offer that service to deliver things wherever required. And then
Mm,
our shop manager is Della, who she sort of oversees the running of the shop and oversees all the other volunteers under the watchful
yeah,
gaze of
because I
Paula,
think it's a
obviously.
real sense of community. Because how I see it, it's not just a shop; it's a real hub. And you put the nail on the head, as they say. When you said people just want to come in, people just want to see somebody, even if it's just sit down, have a chat, have a cup of tea. So it's more than a shop, isn't it? It's a real sense of community. What hours does the shop open, Elaine? Is it Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sundays? What time can people come up to the shop?
So it's open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and then on a Saturday, 9 till 1. So yeah, people are welcome to come any during any of those times, either just to come and say hi, to have a browse, to drop in donations. We're busy all the time now. It's taken off amazingly. It's much more than we could have ever wished for. And yeah, it's fantastic.
It's gone from strength to strength, really. That idea that Paula had for AD's legacy. And it's just literally, because I remember it started by saying the house and it got too big for that, for where it was started, wasn't it? It was getting bigger and bigger. And then sort of like had to move it into the shop and stuff, which is great. Is there did I read there's a particular day that people can't donate at the moment? They can come any other day, but just not donate on a particular day.
Yeah, so we're trying to limit donations just a little bit. So we're not ever turning anything down because we're so grateful for everything everybody supports us with. But storage is a real problem. So at the moment, Paula has requested that people don't donate to the shop on a Thursday, just to give us a chance to catch up because everything has to be sorted. And it's quite time consuming, quite labour intensive. So yeah, we're just having one day a week where we don't accept donations. However, if that was the only day you could be in the area, and
Somebody would be around.
it would mean you were going out of your way to come another time, then we would be still accepting of the donation.
It's coming up for a particular festival very, very soon, because like we said, once the kids have gone back to school and you start seeing all the adverts and the pressure starts mounting up for the C word, dare I mention it, the Christmas, it's not that far away really now, is it? And I mean, you guys have put an appeal out for your Christmas donations. Are you able to say what you're going to do for Christmas this year and what people can donate, what you're most in need of, that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I'm one of those people that generally doesn't mention Christmas till December.
I
And
hadn't until I saw your advert.
yeah, and this is September. However, obviously, because we go so big at Christmas, we need some time to prepare for that. So we do a multitude of things at Christmas. So firstly, we last year we filled the showroom with toys and had everybody come there for again by donation, come and get all the toys and presents that you need for your kids, and just give us a donation. So we have the same idea this year with that, but we'll do it at the shop. So we'll be emptying the shop of all the normal stock, filling it with toys and gifts and Christmas style clothes and what have you. And again, some of it will have a price tag. A lot of it will be by donation. So it makes it affordable to everybody and anybody without judgment. So we appeal to anybody that's got any toys that's having a sift through and thinking their children no longer need certain items. If they're in good condition, we would love to have them donated to us, because we try to make sure we've got enough toys for as many families as we can possibly help. So we do that, and then we do food hampers at Christmas, whereby we provide Christmas dinner in a hamper to people that can't afford Christmas dinner. The appeal that's gone out at the moment is to find families that would be prepared to sponsor another family at Christmas, and the expectation would be that they provide Christmas dinner for that family and then gifts for the children of that family. So again, trying to prevent children from missing out on the festivities. It must be awful to be at school and have people talking about what they got for Christmas and you didn't get to experience Christmas. So we're trying to level the playing field for these families, really. And then we hold a Christmas party for families with financial difficulties or vulnerable families. A lot of those are referred by key workers, but some of them are people that approach us. Last year we held a party for 80 people, again at the showroom. This year we're hiring somewhere on the Ermine, and we're hoping to up our game and have 100 guests this year. And last year's was just amazing. We had a Santa there, and Santa visited, and everyone got a gift, and we had food and a DJ and all sorts of things, and a few surprises along the way. And it was just a really magical thing. Some of the children that attended had never ever been to a party before, never experienced Santa before, and just were absolutely buzzing. It was an amazing event.
We will put all those links to all of the things we've mentioned on our social media channels. One thing before I let this lovely lady go, over the last sort of, shall we say 2 years, there must have been some real highlights for you guys. What's your highlight been with AD's Legacy, Elaine?
Helping that little girl to go as an equal to her school trip. I think that for me was the highlight, because that was one little girl that just was normal for a day and equal to everybody else.
One of the things I do want to quickly say about is, where can people find you? Where can they find the shop again, and how can they access your support?
So we have a Facebook page under AD's Legacy. We have a pre-loved shop Facebook page also. If they just search AD's Legacy, both of those should come up on Facebook. We have the shop, is 72 Hemswell Avenue, which is off Skellingthorpe Road near City School. We've opened an email address for people that want to help with things or want to speak to us, which is AD's Legacy events.et@gmail.com. And they can also get hold of Paula via paulagreen90@yahoo.co.uk. Anybody can pop into the shop. There is a message us feature on the pre-loved Facebook page for people to send via Messenger, and either Paula or myself or one of the volunteers would get back to people that way as well. And then obviously we do take referrals direct from support workers around the county, mainly in Lincoln.
Like I just said, we will put all the links to the appeals and everything that's been mentioned in this podcast. We will link on our social media platforms. Elaine Turrell from AD's Legacy, it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your time and for the interview. It's really helpful to us, and we really appreciate it.
Well, that brings us to the end of that episode. My thanks go to Elaine Turrell from AD's Legacy for joining us and nattering. Thanks to my technical team for doing all the technical bits. If you enjoy our show, please subscribe to our podcast, available on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple and Google Podcast. And be sure to come back next week for more interesting interviews from the heart of Lincolnshire. Until then, this is Shelley signing off for now. We'll see you soon.